Hello?
Hello, hello. Do I switch my camera
Hello,
on? Oh,
hello.
yes, I do. Hi.
You got it?
I do. Hold on a sec. 2 secs.
Hello, Crystal J. Pinafore.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
How are
Hi,
you, my love?
everybody. I'm good. How are you?
Good, I'm super excited. Got my stack.
Oh my goodness. Do you know, I was looking at my copy of Spellbound on my Kindle today and just blown away. This is such a full circle moment for you, isn't it, Sam?
Full circle. Don't, my beloved.
Yeah, what a book. What a book. It was
What a
such a
book,
delight.
what women. Just, but I guess we should say who's on. We've not done that yet.
Yes. Who's
So,
joining us today, Sam?
we have Crystal J. Johnson and Felicity Vaughn, my favourite authors in the world. Hands down, my favourite authors in the world, the best people I know, just the most wonderful women, the most supportive women. And yeah, they have over 10 books out. They're hybrid authors, just absolute powerhouses.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I know how closely you work with them. I know how invested you are in their body of work. I'm so grateful because I got to read at least one of their books in advance, and it was just the best homework I've ever been given, to be honest.
That one is their first traditionally published book too. So yeah,
Wow.
so it is their like book baby. So it's
Amazing.
they're incredible.
And it's such an interesting journey, isn't it? I mean, we've spoken to so many people that have gone down the kind of traditional route of publishing, and it's so fascinating now to see how it's opened up so that writers can have so many different ways in and just build their readership and their fan base. And it sounds like Crystal and Rachel have been doing exactly that in such a fresh way.
In the new modern way. And I
Yeah,
think they've taken to it perfectly and they've done it in their own time.
yeah.
And they've done it by building up connections, by building up a loyal little fan base with us going like, read their books, read their books. And I just think the way they've done it is so fresh and new
Yeah,
and so like organic. It's not forced upon anyone. It's not like everywhere. But when you see it, you're drawn in because
yeah,
everything about their books is alluring. Like you look at the cover and you're like, oh, I want to read that.
yeah,
You read the blurb and you're like, yeah, I really want to read that. So and then you watch a video with them in, and the personalities are just like, I want to know them. So
yeah.
it's kind of like everything is there, and
Yeah.
I've been sat here and I'm like, I really want you guys to succeed, and just seeing it play out over the past like 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, it's just been like the best thing ever.
Oh my, I'm getting emotional hearing this. It's just so beautiful because it's so much about relationships and sisterhood and connection and teamwork. And it's so refreshing as well just to hear how this, has kind of evolved so organically and so interesting, just from a reader's point of view, but also a writer's point of view, to be able to see what the journeys are, what the ways in are, how you can build that if, like you said, you've got the right ingredients, cracking storylines, beautiful characters, brilliant personalities, a dream team. There's just so much there, isn't there?
Yeah. It's just so beautiful to watch because it's getting a sense of who they are as well through their friendship to each other. And they are
Right.
best friends. Like as a writing duo, they're best friends, but off the writing team, they're best friends. So it's just kind of like you are who I want to be. You are everything. You are just oh
Gorgeous.
yeah.
Well, are we ready to meet
They
them?
are.
I can't wait.
I have invited them. Hello.
Hello.
We could just sit here and listen to Sam just pump us up for
I feel
the
like I'm like,
next
I don't
hour.
know.
I'm good. That was so nice.
So
Thank you so much.
it's
You
all
got us.
true. It's all true. And it's so delightful to meet you. I feel like I know you already just because of
Yeah.
how much Sam has told me about you, how much she's gushed about you, and obviously the brilliant work that I've read. So what an honor to have you here, all the way from the States as well.
Yeah.
We are, yes.
Yeah, we
And on
are.
two different sides of the country. We don't even live in the same state. So that's like,
Wow.
you know,
That's a
I
big
don't know.
deal.
It's just, and then to make a connection with Sam living in the UK is like, and find this friend that is on the other side of the world that has just been so kind and so supportive. And she's just honestly the sweetest. She's the sweetest soul, the sweetest heart of like anybody I know. Like she's tender, but she's also grown so
Yeah.
much
Oh
from,
my
she said,
gosh, yes.
5 years ago when we all met. This Sam that we see today is not the Sam that we met. Like
Although
she has
her
just
hair is the same,
blossomed into
which
such an
is so funny.
amazing woman.
I'm literally crying. I'm getting emotional.
Oh,
It's so gorgeous. But the three of you together and what you've built, what you've achieved, the connection and the teamwork. I mean, it just goes to show, doesn't it, when you find that connection, even across three different time zones, by the way,
Oh my god,
Yes.
it's a
it
nightmare, honestly.
it's not easy. I think that's a testament to it being worth it.
We make it work.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a nightmare that is worth it.
It's
Well,
glad it's
maybe.
good we like each other,
Yeah.
It's
Felicity.
better
It's, you
now
know,
that Crystal is not 2 hours behind me, only one behind me now.
Got
Oh
you.
yeah, it's daylight savings.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't,
yeah.
we in Arizona do not practice the daylight savings. So we end up like the rest of the country moves
She
and we
never
just
moved.
like shift into a new time zone as they all move.
Wow. I mean, I have so many questions for the three of you, really, not just the two of you, but
But it's
maybe
all
like,
about
We already talked about the questions, like we read through them, so we're ready to talk about them.
well,
well, I
their
guess the
Sam's
first
questions are
one
amazing.
is between the two of you, you've published over 10 books, which is insane in a short amount of time. Um, Tell us a bit about where it began for you both. How did you meet? Obviously, I know how you met, but how did you meet and how did it become the dynamic duo you are now?
I think we're just gonna like start making up stories every time someone
Oh,
asks us
that's
this
what I
question.
said today. I said we should make up a fictional story about this. Some people are probably like so tired of hearing about it, but okay.
But they're new people every time, so
There's new
I
people,
assume
yeah.
some people have heard this like a million times. But
Nina hasn't heard the story.
No,
oh
I want to
No, but that's true.
know.
That's true.
okay,
Okay, we're gonna
okay,
tell it for Nina.
all
Let's
right,
go.
okay.
Please.
So we were on Wattpad. I assume that she's mentioned that to you before, but we were on Wattpad and we didn't know each other at all, but we're both invited to the same like writers chat. And at the time it was on Chatsy. Like that's how long ago this was. And I did not want to join this because I I'm like not a I'm not a joiner. Like that's not really my thing. But I was like, okay, fine, because I didn't know what I was doing on there, and I didn't know anybody, so I was like, well, might as well. Like maybe I'll learn something. So go on there, and there's like 7 or 8 girls on there, and um, I thought that Crystal was like the coolest person. I thought she was like the best writer on there. She's like, and I, I don't know, just like it's highly intimidated by her. Like we all were, honestly. Like
Which was
anytime Crystal,
crazy because I was highly intimidated by Felicity. So
Amazing.
because I was an English teacher, which okay, I know how to use commas. Great. I like I just thought that she was like the best, and like everybody did. And like when Crystal came on the chat, we were all like, "Ooh, it's like Crystal appeared, like a wild Pokemon. Like she's here." And so
yes.
we
Crystal
used to
the
do,
wild Pokemon. I
yeah,
love
That's
yeah.
what
Oh,
that.
like a
I
wild Pikachu has appeared. Here she is. Um, gotta catch her while she's here. We used to do this like lame thing. We used to do role playing. It is really lame. It's okay. It just was. Um, I used to do it when I was in like middle school. That's how lame this was. So we used to do it as adults. And Crystal was like, I know she thought we were lame because she told me. But we
it
were like,
wasn't my
okay.
cup of tea.
But I was like, you should do it with us one night. And then finally, we all convinced her to do it. And they were like, you two, the two of us, should role play an incubus and a human girl. So we were like, okay, fine. So we did it, and it was like hours and hours of us role playing this like scenario, and everybody's just in there watching like they're watching a TV show of us just like going back and forth with this story, and we're just making it up as we go, like no planning, just like going back and forth. And so at the end of the night, I was like, I can't get this story out of my head. Like it's just like I love it, and so I message her, which is weird. Like I'm there. It is. Yeah, that was it.
It became
So
it
like
became Edge of the Veil.
I'm not like the person to like reach out to like I'm just not usually like that. But I was like, oh, I need to write this story, but I didn't want to do it on my own because we came up with it together. And so I just asked her, do you want to write this story with me? And she was like, I've seen you in the chat. You're a pantser. You don't plan your stories. And I was like, okay, but I will. Whatever you need me to do, I will. I'll plan it. I'll plan anything. I just really want to write this story. And she was like, she didn't expect me to do that. She expected me to be like, no, okay, never mind. But I was like, yes, I'll do it. And she said, okay, all right, fine. But she didn't think we'd follow through. We did. We wrote that every single day, every day. There was not, I don't even think there was a day that we didn't write until we got that book
Wow.
finished. And it became Edge of the Veil after, we put it all up on Wattpad, and then we were
Keep in
like,
mind, we
people
weren't even
like this.
really friends. We were just acquaintances at this
Until we
point,
were done with the book.
writing this book
Yeah.
together. And we weren't the way I know we'll talk about this in a minute, but the way we wrote then was very different. We kind of took that role playing, whereas Felicity was all the female characters and I was doing all the male characters. And we say that's because I'm the best guy friend you'll ever have.
Honestly, if you need a non-emotional like point of view, just ask
Just
her.
like a man.
She will just like tell you exactly how, like, point blank. No, she will not spare your feelings at all.
Not
Brilliant.
Trust me.
not unkindly though. We're just not going
In
to
the
sandwich
kindest
it.
way possible.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so, like, we weren't even friends. Like, that was kind of the bizarre thing to be doing something so intimate, so, um, and we're both sitting here and we're feeling a little intimidated by each other, yet we're doing this thing and it's a
But we weren't
romance
doing it in
novel.
the same like chat room. Like
No.
we were doing it so annoying. Okay, we would be like we had moved to Discord eventually, and so we were in a Discord DM. She would write it, and I would write my part. She would write her part. I would write my part, and we'd send them to each other. So we weren't in the same Word document like we are now, and so she would send her part. I would have to take it, copy and paste
Copy
it,
and
put it
paste
in the
it.
Word document. And here's the annoying part: when I would paste it from Discord and put it in the Word document, it would be the wrong color, the wrong font, and have a background color on it. And I would have to change it every
No.
time. And finally, I was like, Crystal, we got to do something different because it drives me crazy. And so she was like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to write in front of you. Like, you're like
I'm
an
dependent on
English
spell check
teacher.
and Word.
I said, I could not, I can't express to you how much I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. And so finally we did it, and it was so much better because we could just like, eventually this took a while, but eventually we have gotten so comfortable with each other. Now we'll be like, hey, stop. Whatever you're doing right there, stop. That's not,
Wow.
that's not going to work. Cause if you keep going, we're just going to have to redo it. So just
Wow.
stop. Let's talk. And so like we can do
Should I
that now.
no,
And
what
it's
normally
fine.
happens is wrong point of view, wrong point of view,
Oh
wrong point
yeah. I'll
of
be
view.
like,
Wow.
hey,
You're writing in the wrong point of view.
we're in his chapter. Hey. Or hey,
Wow.
that's past tense. We haven't written in past tense in like 100 years. What are you doing?
Yep,
Like,
yep.
This is amazing because, to be honest, the things that I'm most interested in is how does this dynamic work? How does the
yeah,
relationship work? And how has it evolved since then? And you're kind of answering that question, like all
yeah.
these little details
You just
about even the platform you started on, what
mm-hmm.
that means, but also like the roles that you played, in terms of the male and female character. Like, I'm assuming, as you said, that's not quite how you work
Yeah,
now. So
no.
what's the nitty gritty? Like, how does this dream team actually work in terms of the actual writing
So
then,
now
would you
we're like
say?
everything. Like everybody does everything now.
Right.
So like right now we're
We're in the
starting
same Word
with the
document.
same Word
We're on
document.
FaceTime. When I tell you we're on FaceTime from like almost the moment that we say good morning to each other, and sometimes we FaceTime in the morning, But
It depends
because
on
Felicity's
schedule.
husband works the evenings, she takes a moment when he comes home, spends a couple hours with him, and then from there on out until my husband gets home, and then I
We're
spend a couple
working
hours with him, and then we get back on the phone, and we're on
because my husband's asleep
FaceTime.
by that time. So
I would
Yeah.
say 10 hours
work.
a day on average. It's about 10 hours a day we are on FaceTime. And while we're on FaceTime, we're in the same Word document together, writing over each other to have this kind of cohesive voice that we don't want you to go, oh, that was Crystal. Oh, that was Felicity. I can tell.
Yeah.
We're to the point now that we
We can't tell.
argue about, like, one of us will be like, that was good. That, like,
Great
we're going
line.
back, we're editing, like,
Thank
that
you.
was
I wrote
good.
that.
And the other one goes, no, I wrote that. No, I wrote that. We can't even figure out who wrote what now.
What I love is that you're also finishing each other's sentences in real
Uh-huh.
life
Yes.
now as
That
well.
happens a
So
lot.
Yep. We do
We
that
do.
too.
amazing.
So like I'll write for like last night. I'll write for when we were writing The Amber Shift, which is Sam's favorite book like ever. We are renaming it. We just don't know what we're naming it to yet. But um, I'll write for a
The
while.
reason I know them.
Really?
Yeah, yep. I'll wait. I'll write for a while, and then when I feel like I'm done, I'll tell her it's her turn, and she'll read what I wrote. And if she feels like anything needs to be like adjusted, she'll do that. And then she might not even tell me if she adjusted something. She'll just do it.
I don't think we
Um,
even tell each other anymore. I
if it's
think we,
something big, if you're like, okay, I did this because you might notice in the thing I'm about to write, like,
yeah, yeah.
but if it's something small, we're not going to tell each other.
Nah, I don't
And then
say
she'll
anything.
write, and then it could be like a whole paragraph, it could be a whole page, it could be a line, because there's some scenes where, like, if it's an argue, these are the scenes where we do this a lot. If it's an argument, if it's a love scene, or if it's like,
You want a spontaneous
you
response
want to
from
spot,
another
like,
character.
yeah, you go back and forth like one line each.
Yeah.
That's so I'll say like I'm done. I know that was quick, but I want you to respond. So like it'll go like kind of back and forth.
Yeah, we wrote
Um,
something last night and she goes, I'm done. I want to hear how Elijah's gonna act towards this. So I was like, oh,
So do I.
oh well he's gonna get a little feisty here then.
yeah, so it just
Amazing.
depends on what we're writing and what the situation is. But one of the questions said, how did you get this cohesive voice that flows so well? I'm like, it I couldn't tell you exactly how. I just know that it has to do with us writing in the same document at the same time.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is one
It
of the things that stood out most to me, like when I first read The Amber Shift, because I thought it was one author when I first read
yeah.
it. I have no idea. And then
No.
obviously I was looking on TikTok, like I thought you was just two authors that were friends and that you ran the same TikTok and promoted each other. And I was like, I saw one TikTok and I was like, what do you mean you both wrote it? Like, wow, that's one person's voice.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed by it because obviously it was ongoing at the time.
I
And I
just
was
love
just like,
that. Thank you.
and I was just a bit like, how is that even possible?
I,
It is
And yet
seamless. It is
it is, isn't it?
seamless.
I
Yeah.
don't think
It's remarkable.
Yeah, I don't think many authors could do it. You know what I mean? Like, I think because writing is so intimate. It's so much your heart. It's so much
Hmm.
the things you long for in life. Like, you're really letting somebody in on like all your deepest, darkest secrets,
yes.
Yeah.
whether it be, something that's missing in your life, whether it be the loss of a parent, and that grieving process, whether it be moments you wish that would happen in a bedroom. You know what I mean? Like these are all really intimate things to let somebody in on. And sometimes they're even things that you are shy about sharing with your best friend because there is that stigma on some of these things that you just don't want them to know, like that you're breaking down inside, that you're lacking something, that you have a dirty mind, whatever it
I'm not
is.
embarrassed about
These are
that.
just things that are so intimate. So I think that a lot of people would never, and that's why you see so many authors that co-write something. One of them will do the first draft, one will edit, one will do one chapter in one point of view, the other will do another chapter, because really being on top of each other in a document is not something that I think most creatives would want to do.
Some
And
people have
it's,
told me before, I couldn't do what you do. Like,
yeah,
I could not do it. I
and
couldn't
not
give them
because you
control like
don't
that.
well, and I think the control thing, but just because you're just letting somebody in on things, and there has to be that openness, which I already believe about writing as a whole. There has to be that openness to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And so this is real time when you're with like your bestie hanging out in a document. This is real time constructive criticism.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to kind of just let that roll off your back and continue on, which I think so many people get into writing. And because it's a story they love, and they should, because they should be their book's number one fan, um, they kind of have this expectation that everybody's going to love the book. And when
Hmm.
that doesn't happen and you're starting to hear some hard truths about your story, it's gut wrenching. Like it's the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. That's your art, that's your love, that's, and here somebody comes and they say, I don't like that. And so I think for us, I personally, talking about like me being about all about the hard truths, um, I personally enjoy that because I love that you say you love my story. Like, of course, like that's an ego
That's
boost.
fun to
It
hear.
makes me feel really nice. But at the end of the day, I will not become a better writer unless I'm open to those hard truths. And I
Mm.
never want to be stagnant. Felicity never wants to be stagnant. Like I want to continue to grow. I want to become a better storyteller. And storytelling is a talent, but the writing part of it and conveying that story is a skill. So we can grow in that and change in the way that we deliver. So I don't know. I just that's why I think so many people would not do it. But for me, I think personally think it's a blessing. So
Yeah.
rather hear it from my best friend, the hard truth from my best friend than from
Absolutely.
a stranger.
I think
Yeah.
also, like, you make a really good point, which is that receiving notes and feedback is such a specific skill, first of all. And the person giving you that feedback and those notes, you have to trust them. There's got to be a huge element of trust there that A,
Yes.
they get what you're doing, and
Yep.
B, they're on your team and they want it to be better, and that they
Yep.
know how to communicate that with you. And again, that seems to be something that you found really organically between you, that
Hmm.
means that your work becomes even better because you've got that trust as well and you can feedback with
Yes.
each other.
Yes.
Yeah. And my question really, and it's going to be a little bit off piece, but just because I understand so well now how you guys came together, but how did this lady join you? Like, how did that happen? How
Honestly,
did
like TikTok, I, the first thing I remember you posting wasn't about the Amber Shift. It was about Edge of the Veil. It's the first thing I remember you posting.
Oh, it was the annotating
It was the
video,
annotating video. I just found it actually not that long ago where I'd stitched you. Um, but
which was horrific. Looking back at that, all the different parts sticking out so far.
it was one of your first. Um, and then you just started coming to our lives and you came every time. And you were in the chat, like, um, you know, interacting with us and stuff. Comment on all our videos, and we comment on yours. We interact together, and that was when like we had the one book at first. We only had one book out, and then the book's on Wattpad, but only one book published, which was Edge of the Veil, and it was not. It wasn't traditionally published. It wasn't self-published either. It was like the little tiny indie
It was an
press
indie
that.
publisher, yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what to call that, but it wasn't in bookstores either. So I don't know, like you were just one of those people that wasn't just a reader anymore, became a friend. And then gosh, I don't remember even how
All I
you
remember is like my first interaction with Sam was she was reading something. She didn't show her face. She was reading something and she said, "Oh no, my accent is terrible. This is your," and I'm like, "Please,
oh yeah,
we're Americans. We're going to be so fascinated with your accent."
Oh my
I
And
remember
gosh,
she
you
that.
made
made
it sound
me
like she was
cry.
going to come in and talk like she had a mouthful of marbles and it was going to be just terrible. And she did this little reading and it was so
We
soft.
were
And I'm
like,
like, it reminded me of like, of Emma Watson. And I was like, girl, this is so, I like, your voice is so pleasant. That was the first thing I remember really interacting with Sam on. It's like, just,
Oh,
oh, that was
And then
nice. I'm like, you want to read more of our books to us? That's really nice.
I just remember we needed somebody to help us with our social media, and Sam was the only one that we thought of to ask to be our PA. And we did that. And then not that long after that is when we went to New York City and Canada for Spellbound's release. And so we
right.
did that, and that was so fun. That was so
Those
fun.
are
It
fun.
was fun introducing Sam to American things. That was,
Like free
hold on,
refills.
ranch, trying to introduce her to ranch in Canada was like,
No,
we were like,
ranch in
wait till we
Canada
get
was
to New York.
disgusting.
I don't know what the
Yeah.
Canadians are doing to ranch, but it's not okay. Like,
No,
this is an
that the
American
free
staple point.
refills was my
The free
favorite thing.
refills, that's
I
She was
thought
like,
I was going to
Taco
get
Bell.
started off to jail. It
she was like,
wasn't
what?
funny to me.
You you tiptoed over to that soda machine,
Like,
like
am I gonna get
looked back at
arrested?
us, like are they really like, yes, we don't have many things for free here in America. We don't have free healthcare. There's no healthcare system. But
But we
damn
have
it,
free
we
soda,
have
damn
free
it.
soda, free refills on the soda. Go on.
I'm here to live the tale. It was fun.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Just she was just someone that we just connected with, just like that.
She
I
was
don't know.
kind and she was just so easy and
Supportive
supportive and even
with
um
nothing with this is I don't mean this to sound bad toward it. I'm not saying this against anyone else in particular, but she was kind and supportive without wanting anything in
without
return.
expectation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It was genuine.
we started our TikTok. We got a big portion of our TikTok following. We only had one book out. We did at the beginning. We didn't do this with the intention of like trying to get a bunch of followers. We didn't know this was going to happen. It just did. We did book ferrying at the beginning, and that caused us to get a ton of followers, which is great. It was great at the time, but now it's like we look back on that, we're like, we still have
We
a lot
set
of
an
these followers
expectation
that
with people that
they were
was
here for the free
unattainable
shit.
forever. Yeah.
And
Okay,
so
got
like
you.
and so at the time we were doing the book ferrying, and Sam was here without expectation for that. Like she was just here because she loved our books and loved and began to love us as people. So like I don't know, it's just she's just one of those
Now
people
you
that
still
we
love
connected with. And
Amazing.
we connected with several people during that time, but no one like her. Like she's like the OG person from Book Talk that we connected with. So, and there have been
Well, and
people
you
along the
even
way that we have connected with, but
yeah,
from
that's
that time period, from that very beginning time period, she was like the only one that we could have imagined asking.
I don't think we understood yet our limitations and whatnot in the parasocial relationship. And so, and as we've grown to understand, like everybody you speak to is not necessarily your friend, not everybody has great intentions. And so, as we've grown to kind of be able to pick those people out and identify, like, am I creating a true connection with somebody, or is this more about what I bring to the table? Can I
What they can
help
get from
boost
me.
their views on TikTok? Can I like just to real or for them to just be able to say I'm friends with an author, like their little clout as they go about. And so, I think we've really learned how to maneuver through people and figure out who's truly there's Ash is one of
Mhm.
those people,
Yes.
who those
And,
people really
and
are.
Tiffany's still in here too.
And
Tiffany
Tiffany's
also.
in here. Yep, there you go. Figure out who those people are for us and really build a tight circle, because you can have all of TikTok in your corner. Book Talk is all there, but really what you need is a core group of, I think, especially women that can meet you where you are, who are going to be great secret keepers, because you need people to vent to. And we don't believe in venting on tick in the TikTok sphere is not a great idea for an author. When it comes to really personal things, like we might get on and do a little rant about something that's an overall, but sharing our own personal frustrations, you need to have people that you can do that with. And and doing that on social media is not a wise decision.
Mm.
You know, that's, and it's not being fake. It's not, and that's, I hate when people say, well, you're not being authentic then. No, I am being authentic. It's just when I have a moment when I want to crash out and share my deep, dark secrets with someone, um, I should not turn directly to TikTok and start spouting that
With the
without
world,
having some
like,
feedback
yeah,
and some, you know, perspective. Taken, you know, go to sleep on it, see how you're feeling about it tomorrow before you open your mouth and you start sharing everything with everybody. Let's not do that. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
finding those people that you can really, really trust, those women that are here to support you and uplift you, and they want to keep, they want to keep your secrets, they want to, there's a two-way loyalty going here with them, is really, really important. And Sam has definitely been one of those people that, you know,
Has
I
been
know I
has been
felt Sam
loyal
in
from
tears
like,
before, just needing to vent.
hmm
So, and never had that fear that
yeah,
that conversation that I have with her in one of my, you know, in a dark moment would ever leave what the two of us spoke about together. Like,
Mm.
that's
yeah,
a nice feeling to have, because I don't think that that's always possible on making friends on social media.
no,
Absolutely. Trust. Again, there's a theme here, isn't
yep,
there?
yep,
Yeah.
yep. So true,
And I
very
will
true.
say, just like tagging off the back of that, like I think Rachel said at the start, I am completely different than who I was back then.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I am
Mm.
completely like revamped, more confident person, but that is massively down to these two women. And I just think
Wow.
that's
oh
like, no, it is. No, it is.
But
Amazing.
you had to get on planes on your own and you had to do things that were scary on your own. We just got to be cheerleaders to that because we knew that you deserved to be able to do those things as you were struggling through your own mental health, you know, issues, and trying to put things in place that it didn't disrupt your life anymore. Like, I'm glad that we got to be there to cheer you on, because I think it's so easy in this world, because as we get to learn more about mental health and things like that, it's so easy to turn around and write somebody off as this is too much, instead of just being a listening ear. Like, what does it harm you to be kind and allow them that space to vent, to have their fears, and to let them know that, hey, when you're ready to conquer that, I'm here to help you conquer that. Like, that, if we would all just do that to somebody that's struggling through something, just even one, take one little moment, 10 minutes to talk to them. It doesn't need to be every single day, just 10 minutes to talk to them and be like, when you're ready, I'm here. I'm not a put, like me personally, I'm not a pusher. You say I'm not ready to talk about it, I say, okay, that's great. Whenever, I'm not going to run after you. Like, I'll let you have that space if that's what you say you need. So, you know, I think if we were all just to give people that space and that opportunity to do that, we would have a world where people can overcome some of the things that they're really, really struggling with and feel safe doing it.
Beautifully put. Gorgeous.
Well,
Oh,
you became my sisters out of the back of it, so that's always
Well,
been
you
nice.
know,
amazing.
we're close when your mom is still in my phone, as you know, Paula still sits there in my phone. I think about her every once in a while. I'm like,
And
poor
you're in my
Paula.
mum's phone as mum number two.
That's gorgeous. I know that Sam, you wanted to talk a bit more about booktok and what that's meant, you know, in terms of all three of yours trajectory. Um, what did you want to kind of say in terms of, yeah, maybe like you've talked about how different you were at the beginning, all three of you, and what's evolved for you personally. What role has booktok played in all of that?
I really do believe that we wouldn't be in the spot we're at right now if it weren't for Book Talk, because we've connected with so many people um, through this platform for sure. So I'm really glad that we've had access to it and that it's been here. Um, I do worry for its future because of it's being acquired by the United States. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do worry about the algorithm. Where is it headed? Is it going to be the same? But however, what I do know is that if it's not Book Talk, it'll be something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we'll go somewhere else and we'll find each other somewhere else. So even if we have to go to another platform, it doesn't matter because we'll be okay, I guess is the way I kind of look at it. I had, I thought we were losing it in January. I posted my sad, depressing TikToks and I had accepted it. And then all of a sudden we get it back. And I feel like for me, for my algorithm, it hasn't been the same since we got it back that time. Our views have gone down, way down. Our TikTok shop never bounced back either. But for Book Talk, historically speaking, since we've been on here, it really has been like a game changer. Truly, like
It's a game changer to the entire industry.
It
Like,
really has been.
this is the first time in the bookish world that we see readers actually setting the pace of what's marketable, and all the things that you were really fighting. Even if you were an indie author, you were still having to stay within that space that was set by the big five. And now we're seeing that the readers are getting to control that, and what they were telling us were the hot books at the time are not, that wasn't it at all. So to see the actual readers get to have control and go into a bookstore and see the TikTok, the trending on TikTok table or whatnot, like that, things like that, that's pretty amazing. And let's just be honest, if it weren't for Book Talk, I don't think we would see indie authors having the success
No.
that they're having, because they were on Instagram, they were on Facebook, but there's something about the Book Talk community that was so infectious that everybody wanted to come into this community. I mean, and we still see that, right? You still see the guy on the motorcycle who's like probably never picked up anything in his whole, like, he did not read The Fourth Wing, you guys. Like, he did not, like, that's not what happened. But here he is, carrying it, pretending like this is his new Bible. And we're like eating it up because, it's Book Talk and it's fitting this narrative that we've all set. So it's just so different. It's so nice to see that it's not the agents. The agents actually had it wrong, because if anybody's queried before, you know how very difficult it is to find an agent to go and sell your books. And this is just really cool. And it's allowed for
agents are coming to indie authors.
Indie authors.
Publishers are coming to indie authors,
And I'll tell you, 5 years ago, they would have told you if you put your book on the internet in any way, shape, or form, outside of it being traditionally published, no traditional publisher was ever going to pick you up.
That's crap.
And that's not the case anymore. Like, they're actually looking to see how well you're doing on your own.
Yep.
And then going, we want a piece of that. And the one thing that I think is really cool is to see them coming in and just wanting the physical book. And not the ebook, which I think is really powerful for the authors, because as we know, like, the ebook for us as indie authors generates a lot of sales, but in the grand scheme of things, more people buy a physical book. So to have that distribution going on there with, Penguin Random House and Macmillan or whoever is insane, and that's really great. But to get to keep my book and not set it at a $12 price point for an ebook, which is not,
ridiculous.
Which I think that'd be like a 20 pound price point for you guys. Like,
wow,
that's astronomical for an ebook. Like, nobody wants to pay that much for an ebook. And so to be able to keep it and put it on Kindle Unlimited and still be able to profit off of that and still get that distribution is really, really cool. So I think there's a lot going on here that is industry changing. And I think you're going to start seeing more and more deals being made where the authors are getting to keep their digital form of the book, and they can have the distribution of, the physical copy. I think that is a good way to go, because I think that's the reason why ebooks have not taken off, and you're still seeing 60% of those books being physical books. Why not just get the physical book if I got to pay $12?
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
And what Ash just said is true. Like, a lot of people weren't reading before Book Talk, and then they're getting back into it because they see people on. They're like, "Oh, what's this Book Talk?" It runs across, their TikTok FYP, and they're like, "Oh, reading. Oh, I used to read when I was a kid. Reading was kind of fun.
I really love
Let me get back into it." So, like, I do think that it's also brought reading back into a lot of people's lives.
It's
Um,
cool again.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it had been cool when I was a kid, instead of me getting, bullied for liking to read, but whatever.
But I think that's it, like liking to read, like finding those things that you like. We were talking about this earlier. I know this like goes into one of the questions, but the trends, I think back to the early 2000s and we think back to the YA craze, the Twilight craze, and that had a time period. It came and it went and we moved on to something else. In fact, we just shifted out of books after that YA craze. And now you're seeing books like Twilight become popular again. You've seen for over 5 years now Romantasy being the top seller in romance. Like there's this space now that's being held because the readers are holding that space that is allowing for things like dark romance, which would have just been a craze, just like 50 Shades of Grey was a phase. Akatar would have just been a phase. But here we are, and we're still talking about these books. And now we're talking about Twilight again. Like, I open my Instagram and the amount of Twilight stuff that comes across I'm like, we're still talking about Twilight. This is so crazy. It's because the readers are interested in that and they're setting that pace. And so I think it's allowing for some longevity of certain genres, every genre really, because you can go and find your people and keep on consuming those books. I think back to my mom, and she used to get this thing called the Romantic Times when I was a kid. And she would sit down every month and get her little Romantic Times, and she'd get out a highlighter and she'd be highlighting all the books she wanted to get in the coming month. And now those
Wow.
books are just they're coming at you at rapid pace. I wish I would see more readers step outside of the popular
Yeah.
and really start becoming more influencers in sharing the smaller books, the more indie books, the books you're not hearing. Like, I hate when everybody goes, hearing about the same books all the time. Great. Where's your content that's sharing different books? Like, you're complaining, but you're also not being a problem solver in this. So I'd really like to see us move away from that because, and I know why people do it. I get it. You're
To
on
get
social
views.
media and you get the dopamine rush from having high views. And let's just face it, a book that nobody knows about is not going to normally get you high views. But I think there's something to be, I think of back to Ruby Dixon and the Ice Planet Barbarians. And it just took one reader having a video pop off, and now everybody was all about those books. And it could not have happened to a kinder person.
Oh,
She
I love
is
her.
the sweetest author. She is
And we
so
don't just say
lovely.
that because she blurbed Unleashing Chaos, but
Not because she's literally just the
she really
kindest
is very sweet.
person, just so genuinely a nice person. And so it was so deserving for her to have her books like pop off like that on social media. And that's because the readers get to control this industry now. And like I said, that's really, really cool.
Very cool. Very so empowering as well. You're not just waiting for one of the big five to come and, knock on your door
Yeah.
or,
I
you
don't
they
think like you can be just as you can bring honestly, if you're working it right, you have social media savvy, you can make more money being a self-published author than what you can getting, 8% back on your physical books
Yeah.
from
8%.
if you're
Getting
lucky,
8%.
8%, 6%, and 25% back because that's a normal contract in the publishing world on your ebooks. Like, I'm taking out the middleman. Why do I need you when honestly, the marketing of my book is going to depend on me anyway? So,
Yep. Yep.
why do I need you? Why, if I've got to go out and still do all the work for a cover,
yeah.
like, I mean, in the beginning, go make a cover on Canva for
Hmm.
goodness sakes. Like in the beginning, just go get your book proofread. Like people are pretty understanding. I think readers are pretty forgiving compared to where they used to be. You can just go get a good proofreader in the beginning, and then as you start to make a little bit more money, now you can bring different kind of editors in. You bring in your content editor, your line editor, and have an even higher quality book that you're putting out. But I don't think you need that in the beginning. And that was actually Sarah Kate had we were talking about that one day and she looked at me and she was like, girl, you don't she's like, I didn't do that. She's like, I didn't have all those things in the beginning. I just put it out on the internet and now look where she is. She didn't say look where I am, but look where she is. She's like, just put it out there. Just put it on KU and go with it and see what happens and continue to write. And I was like, wow, because I had even heard other self-published authors on, I love to study stuff. And so I was hearing self-published authors on YouTube saying, like, you're going to need all these things or your book's going to be absolute trash and people aren't going to flock to it. And then to hear somebody that, has these books that are huge in the book talk community say, no, when I started out, that's not what I did. It wasn't till
Mm.
I earned, had the money to do it that we started getting more editors in there. And it made me take a step back. And it honestly, I don't even know, Sarah Kate doesn't even know this, but I think she gave me personally, out of the two of us, the confidence to start self-publishing and not waiting for a publisher anymore.
Yeah.
Because okay, if you can do that, then we can do that. Like we're all right.
I mean, it
Like
does help. I will say this though. It does help that you have me
yeah,
to
of
proofread
course.
stuff, because there are a ton. I don't think people realize how many writers there are who aren't good at the grammar, spelling, punctuation part of things.
Yeah.
So I would say I
That's
would
why I
not
say
toss.
at least
I
proofreader.
would not get. Yeah, I was gonna say I would not give all writers the advice to just put it out there.
No, but a proofreader is a lot cheaper than going
Proofreader,
and getting
yes,
a
yes,
content
yes.
editor,
I
line
just want to make
editor. Like,
I just want to make
yeah,
that
yeah, no,
clear. Any
no,
writers who are watching this,
proofread your
proofread
books.
at least
Get
get your
somebody to
at
proofread.
least get your book proofread.
Yeah, yes.
You don't always need a content editor if you're just starting out.
No,
Proofreading, yes, please, for the love of God, please. I don't even proofread my own stuff. No,
no.
if let's say this, like Crystal's books that she writes, I will proofread because she wrote it. I didn't. But our like co-written stuff or anything that I've like all your reasons, we have a proofreader. Her name is Isabella. She's amazing. She proofreads our stuff. The only content edit that we've ever had is stuff for traditional publishing, because
Mhm.
we can't, even now we can't afford to do a content edit for all of our every single book we write. Like, but I will tell you one thing we do now
But
that we
one day we will be able to.
one day, but
One day.
like one thing we didn't used to do that we've done for the past, I guess since Edge of the Veil would be the first one we did this on. Um, Alpha reading.
Yeah.
If any author is not doing alpha reading, you should do it. It's amazing. Like, we used to think that Wattpad was good for alpha reading. No, it's not the same, because it's Wattpad is okay for like beta reading, like because they do leave comments so they catch some things, but like alpha reading is amazing because they're reading it as you're writing it. They're catching things as you're going along. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, you don't get like, 75% in and you realize you've made this awful mistake. And then you have to go back and fill in those plot holes. And, they hype you up too while you're writing. Like, they tell you the things that they like, and then they leave these feral comments that are fun. And then you can use those for marketing too. I don't know. It's just really, really fun to have alpha readers. And then they give you, um, yes, Ash is
Demanding
one of
more
our alpha
unhinged
readers.
things.
Demanding more. Where's the rest of the chapters? Let's go. So like for the people that are alpha reading our next book, I was like, we're waiting until we have at least like 10 chapters done before we put it in a document, because if we do that now, they'll be like, if we left them on what we wrote last night, they'd be like, are you
Yo.
serious?
We like to see it.
So
I mean, but
yeah,
that's kind of nice because it kind of becomes a community thing. And I think that
yeah, alpha reading. Yep.
um, it really
You
gets
need to
people
trust
hyped
these
up
alpha
too.
readers. People,
Yes.
if you're a writer in here and you've never heard of alpha reading, make sure when you choose them, these are people that you trust.
Yeah.
You need to really, 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 like, these are people that are not going to, like, you need to have them basically, I mean, they're not really signing a binding contract or anything, but filling out a Google form that says, I understand, the responsibility of this. I agree that I will not share this with anyone outside of you, the author.
I won't feed it through
I won't
AI.
feed it through AI. Like, you just really have to make sure they understand, the importance of what they're doing. But the people that we have alpha read for us, our main group of alpha readers are all people that have alpha read for us for the last 4 or 5 books now. So they're all people that we trust. And then when we bring on a new alpha reader, someone that's never done it before, we just make sure we have them fill that out. And they're always people that we've like, not necessarily people we know, because you also want to make sure that you get to know them after they've done it for you for a while, of course. But you want to make sure that you're getting people that don't hi, Silent. Make sure that you don't know them, because people that know your your heart,
Your
and they
heart.
know. Yeah, and so you want to make sure that you are getting people that see something, they're like, whoa, that was kind of like, did you mean it that way? Like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't mean it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's not like a sensitivity read, but alpha readers can catch things early that, you might want to think about. And sensitivity reading is a whole other thing that is so important. We learned way back in Spellbound, like in Spellbound days. So anytime we remotely think we might need a sensitivity reader, we get those too. Now, I have several lived experiences now that when you have your lived experience on your
You're
own,
good to go.
you're good to go and you
Yeah.
don't need a sensitivity reader. But it's good to have them. So when you don't.
Absolutely. Especially when you are approaching sensitive issues and
Yes,
knowing that there's going to be people that might have similar lived experience and just wanting to
yes.
make sure, that you're representing that in a helpful way and what have you. Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about not doing harm. Like that's
Yeah,
what's the point of writing if you're causing harm with your writing? So
yeah.
just making sure that you, and I even say like somebody goes, okay, well I have this friend, like that can't be your
That doesn't,
sensitivity reader.
no.
Yeah.
And
They
when I
know
see
that you
people
didn't
say
mean it
that,
bad.
that really frustrates me because you should know, because they're going to look at that and things that other people would go, ooh, they're gonna like Felicity said, they're gonna know your heart. Like, well, of course she didn't mean it like that, because and they'll think of it the way you were thinking about it and not realize that you were, writing in a microaggression or whatever it may be. Like, so having somebody else that's outside of you that really doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't know your feelings, know who you are as a human being,
You need to
that's
be very
so
objective.
important.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not that like I think people think, oh, it's going to be so expensive because they have to read the whole. They don't have to read the whole
They don't.
book. We need to pick out the parts that need to be looked at, and they just need to read the parts that need to. Like we just use this. Felicity's like, you have to use a sensitivity reader for your last book in the Crown trilogy because we dealt a little bit with slavery type issues. And so I found somebody that I was like, hey, there's just a few parts where this is brought up. It's something playing in the
It
background,
was in
but I
a
want to
it was
make
in a
sure.
fantasy sense, but still, like, it
But
could, in an
still,
allegorical, like, we just wanted to make sure that it was all like, it wasn't
yeah.
anything that could be harmful.
Yeah.
And so they came in and I hired somebody and she looked at it and she said, nope, it's good. Go carry on. And so that was all I needed. And even opening it up to them that like, in case you need to know, you don't have to, do the shit sandwich where somebody's like, this is really great. I see where you're going here. You were super duper harmful, but I know you meant well. Like, just tell me I was super
Just
duper
tell me.
harmful right there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get to the meat of my sandwich here. I need to
Yeah.
know what's up.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to circle back around. It is a bit of a 360 from where we were. No, 180. Either way.
That's a
Um,
180. I'm sure it was a 180, but you're good.
I can't remember. But I've seen books written in some incredible and interesting ways. But I remember you guys, was it Twisted Mate? You did it with
We did it for the
tarot
first time
cards.
with Kept in the Dark.
Yeah, with
Yes.
bookish tarot cards with tropes.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I just found
What?
that so fascinating. Yeah, little
So
Yeah.
well
tarot
done.
cards.
Let me show
I know
you
you're
what they look
I
like.
know you're really interested in tropes as well, Nina. So these little tarot cards have little book
Yes.
romance tropes. These. So like there is only one bed and like enemies to lovers kind of thing. And they writ the
That's a
whole thing
sad little stack of them.
based on
Felicity has a great,
I have a huge stack. I just pulled a
has a
couple
huge
of them.
stack. Sorry,
I
Sam.
swear she has
Continue.
hundreds now. But
Well, we
yeah, they
had
wrote
to.
a whole book based on the ones that she picked out randomly.
Yes, we picked out
Wow.
for Kept in the Dark. Our PR person told us, "Hey, y'all need to write. Y'all need to get a newsletter." We were like, "Oh my god, a newsletter!" I was like, "We've. How do you get people to sign up for that?" And she was like, "Well, we put in a free book." We were like, "Okay, all right, cool, free novella." So we're like, "Well, what are we gonna write?" Like, so it was around like September. So we're like, "Well, we'll write something like spooky." So I love Ghostface, and Crystal like doesn't love Ghostface. I know she doesn't really love Ghostface. She's not. She doesn't like scary things.
I
She
don't like
loves
scary
Ghostface
things.
now because I've kind of made her. But like I've always loved those movies since I was like
I
12, like
like the man in the
when they came out.
mask. That's what
Yeah.
I like.
So I was like, why don't we write a Ghostface story? And so I was like, what are we gonna write? She's like, I don't know. So this was like the day before she was gonna leave my house. We had gone to like a signing in New Orleans, and she was going to leave. So I was like, okay, before you leave, we need to plot this story. Like, we need to know what we're going to be writing. And so we were like, I have this huge, I'll show you how big the stack is just so you can see. I do have this huge stack of cards. Like,
Wow.
It's ginormous.
And so at the time I didn't have quite as many, but I had a lot. And I was like, okay, so let's take out all of the sports cards. Like, we know we're not going to write sports romance, but we left in like everything else. And we just drew out some random tropes.
We said 5.
And we left out paranormal romance for sure, because we knew that it would be paranormal. And then we drew out, it was paranormal, stalker, bodyguard, crawl to me, and one night stand. So we're like, okay, and we didn't redraw anything. Like, we even videoed it. Like, those were the 5 that we picked, and we were like, okay, so what are we gonna write with those 5 tropes? So we had those 5 things, and we just came up with a story, and that was kept in the dark. And the one night stand part was really a stretch. We really kind of stretched that one and made it work. But I mean, all the story, the plot does. I mean, we made up a plot, of course, but we just had to incorporate those tropes into the plot, and we made it work. So the stalker and bodyguard being drawn together, we're like, are you serious? Those 2 things drawn together?
This is going to be hard.
So we did that, and we did it for Twisted Mates as well.
Because both of those were newsletter books. So when we got done with Kept in the Dark, it started to blow up. And then our PR people were like, pull it out of the newsletter and publish it. Pull it out of the newsletter and publish it. Like, it's starting to go viral on TikTok. You guys got to pull it out. So we're like, oh, okay. So we had to pull that out. And then we were like, well, now we need something else for the newsletter.
That's the only 2 books we've done that for, are the newsletter books. And then they, of course, both ended up being published for real. So
amazing. What a journey. What a lovely way to create a book, and so unique, so original.
We'll probably do that again for we wanted to write a holiday book this year, but our schedule got so jacked up. Next year we hope to. So we'll probably thank you. So we probably will next year. We'll probably use these to do that.
Very cool.
See what we get.
So that's one thing that's coming next. But what else is coming next?
The Amber Shift, which is you thought you heard a lot about us in the past. Get ready, because she loves the Amber Shift.
I'm so sorry for the person I'm about to become.
And,
I'm here for it.
It's actually going to be 2 books, because it is so long. We did not realize that it's 188,000 words as it is right now. Because it was on Wattpad. We just kept writing, and then they asked us to write bonus chapters for that book and everything else. So that's even without the bonus chapters. And but the bonus chapters are pretty much going to be irrelevant at this point, because of the way we're restructuring the relationship dynamics.
It's gonna be white shoes. Just say it's gonna be white.
It is white. It's white shoes. Full on. Everybody's boyfriends, and boyfriends love her, and she loves everybody, and
everybody
it's
loves
full on
everybody.
white shoes, which was not last time. So that's all those bonus chapters we wrote are pretty much not going to be useful. But still, we're still going to be adding some things. So it's going to be long, and we are not going to we're not going to publish a 200,000 word book. No. So we're splitting it into 2, and then we will publish an omnibus with both inside, because I think that people will buy it, and if nobody else buys it, I know that Sam would buy it. Rachel,
actually, for Sam.
Actually, Rachel, your TikTok you posted the other day about, I want 2 boyfriends who are also boyfriends. Why is that so hard?
I saw her post.
I was like, oh my god, you are going to love the Amber Shift. You're going to absolutely love it, which is not going to be called that, but it's in the Twisted Mates universe. So we have to come up with, Sam, if you could think of a name. We need a name that kind of goes with Twisted Mates. 2 words.
Elijah is Sam's husband.
We haven't thought of a name yet, but you just asked what our co-writing process is like. We just talked about that. You missed it. But Sam, if I remember correctly, you're going to post this somewhere on YouTube. On your YouTube. Okay. So go and watch the beginning of this video when she posted on YouTube, because we talked a lot about it. Like, we went on and on forever.
And I'll put the link on my story.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what's next for us. And then we do have a dark romance trilogy that we have a plot for up here. And then we also have the Wicked duology, which is Wicked Games and Wicked Encounters.
These are vampires.
which is vampires. Yeah, vampire
Wow.
twins.
They never
Um,
sleep.
so that one we love that. We love that little duology. It needs some work, but honestly, and we wanted to make it more like not taboo, more dubious consent. That's what it was. We wanted to have a little more dupcon than it does, but Wattpad wouldn't let us. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, so like we were reading because we were creators at the time, we were writing it for their creator program, and we were reading the guidelines, and I was like, hold on, I don't think we can do this.
We have
And
to back up.
it was like a major part of the plot. And I was like, I think this is like breaking the rules. And so we actually did ask, and they were like, yeah, that's a no.
Wow. Very interesting.
So we're trying to play on the darker side. I don't think that we're not dark. Look, we're not dark enough. Like our boys don't have enough red flags to really be dark romance. I don't think like the closest we get is kept in the dark, but writing something that's like really dark, I don't know. I think the two of us just we like a good boy. We just want him to
Me
be a good boy.
too. Me
Yeah, and so I
too.
think every single time I'm like the scenario gets dark, like the
Yeah.
situations are dark, but is the romance dark? No, it's there's not enough red flags going on in a lot of our romances that I could be like, no, he's a good boy. Like she's a good girl. Like these
Mm.
two are like in game, in love. There's nothing really unhealthy going on here. We just as much as we try, we really struggle with that.
I'm
Who
okay with
writes
that.
cinnamon rolls? Cinnamon rolls. There's a very tiny nuance. Don't get me, oh God, don't get me started on the nuance between a cinnamon roll and a golden retriever.
Oh. So, I
But
mean,
cinnamon rolls.
I, I think we deal, I think more it's the like internal damage, the personal damage of the characters
Yeah.
that, but it's real, like, it's real, struggles, real trauma. And so, whereas nothing about that never gets played out in the relationship in necessarily, unhealthy, like, especially schmishwal type of things going on there.
Mm.
So, everything's very consent. Like we're usually pretty good about writing things that have a lot of consent going on in
Well, it's
them.
kind of our
So
thing.
it's our
Consent
thing.
King.
Always
It's
been consent
sexy. We
queens.
like it.
You have a sticker.
Exactly. Oh, well, we're almost out of time, I think. Sam,
I
is there
know.
one last thing you want to ask your wonderful authors?
I love you.
We love you.
That's not a question. We love you too.
But that's already known though.
No, I suppose. Can I have a character named after me?
You want one?
Yeah.
We
What?
could
No, I
She has a
am
character
joking,
named
by the
after
way.
her.
I'm joking, by
We
the
What?
way.
we could
Oh,
slide in a
sorry.
Sam character.
I didn't hear you. I was waiting for the question.
Yeah, yeah, she has a
Sam would
character
like
named
a
after her. We could do it.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it. We could do
Time.
that.
And if
That's
she ends up with Elijah, that's great.
Well, I think that's not
That
happening, but
I think
we
Noelle
could
might
throw a
fight this
Sam in there
character.
somewhere.
I'll take it on the chin. I'll take it on the chin.
Okay, all right, all right.
What what about a dedication? Would you take that? A book dedication?
I could be with Elijah, so I'll take the dedication. I'll take it.
that's huge. A whole book
You go
dedicated to
into every single one
Elijah.
of our acknowledgments. I don't
I know,
know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Cry
gorgeous.
every time. I cry every time. And I'm still like, no, I won't be there. And then Rachel's like, check the back. And I'm like, why?
You're still there, buddy.
Oh, well, Sam loves you. I love you now. I'm
Yes,
completely
we love
sold.
y'all.
I
Thank
can't
you for having
wait
us.
to just go back and read all your catalogue now. You have been so generous with all your experience and your stories and your wisdom and yeah, just sharing your journey as well. Just such rich, warm-hearted conversation and just thank you both so much. It's
Thank
been an
you.
absolute pleasure.
Thank you for
Thank you for
having us.
having
We
us. This was
absolutely loved
fun.
being with you guys. You guys were both just lovely together. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Absolute pleasure. We could talk to you for another
I
3 hours for
know, I
I
sure.
know,
know.
right? Same.
We'll do it
I'll
again
ring you
again for
afterwards.
sure.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you
Thank
both
you
so
Bye.
guys.
much.
Bye.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
my goodness,
Now
Sam!
do you see why I love them?
I get it. I mean, I felt like we'd known each other for years, that I just walked into like somebody's front room where you were there already and they were there already, and I just joined you for a cup of tea. It was just so effortless. They're just incredible.
I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're obsessed with you as well. I mean, really, it's a beautiful just team and relationship. How gorgeous is that?
Girls.
Yeah, and for me, what stands out is that writing can be such a lonely, individual thing. You spend hours on your own writing this thing, and if you're lucky, you'll have kind of a team of publishers or an agent or what have you, but it's not the same. And the three of you, the two of them, but then the three of you have just created this beautiful creative team, and it's just gorgeous to see that that is also possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole dynamic of it. And I've
Yeah,
loved it since before I even knew them. So
amazing.
getting to see it like up close, like just quickly, like when we was in New York, I would sit with them on the bed and they were like getting ready to write while I was there, and I was just like
So cool.
just watching them like do the magic, and I was like, this is so
Yeah,
surreal.
yeah, it's actual magic for
Yeah.
sure. Well, that was another joyous hour. Thank you, thank you. What about next week, Sam? Who do we have next week?
Oh, I'm not sure, Nina. I don't know whether we've got anyone for next week.
Well, I'm going to tell you who I found, who is an absolute legend, an absolute star. I've been waiting for so long to speak to her, but the problem has been that we've had all these amazing guests on. So this conversation just kept getting pushed further and further backwards, but we finally booked her in, and it's you.
It is me. It's me.
It's the incredible Sam's Reads Books, who has created the most beautiful platform and more than that, community really in the book world, and has inspired me and also obviously become an amazing teammate, and has been such a champion of my work. But I know that I'm just one of many people that you support. But I have a lot of questions for you, and I know a lot of people are going to be interested in hearing what you've got to say. So please
I hope
join
so,
us,
otherwise it
everyone.
might be empty. It might be empty.
I don't care. We're going to chat anyway. So everybody, please join us next week. Now, we've decided it's going to be on Monday, haven't we? Monday at 8 p.m. UK time. But we'll put all the details up very, very soon. So,
On
yeah,
at putting dot the dot world dot two dot rights on Instagram.
that's right. Putting the world to rights with all those dots in the middle. So join us for that. And thank you, everybody who joined us this evening or this afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. We love you. All your support really means a lot. And please join us again next week.
Please do. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.